High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. Yeah. The Most High is my rock. I keep my Bible on top. The Most High is my rock. No time for cupcake and the cutting. Hit the streets and start cutting. The Israelites are bubbling. The Israelites are coming. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. You can keep the stuffing. It's pagan, disdain, it's vain.
Oh, shalom, brothers and sisters.
Shalom.
Welcome to another class with the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. All right, we're going to get things rolling. Start out with questions for the Shabbat. Shabbat shalom to all the brothers and sisters online. And let me see here. This class was on a question that a brother basically had. So we're going to go into it. All right. Let me do my little announcements. Give it to me. You ain't going to know. Let me see here. All right. The most important thing we want to remind brothers and sisters is that Hanukkah's coming up. Brothers and sisters, that day is on December 19th to the 26th. So if y'all want to go ahead and partake in that, if you're local in the area and you want to do it with us in unity, you can partake in that. Brothers and sisters, y'all know y'all out of town. We know to keep the High Holy Day holy, to commemorate it. So you're supposed to do that. All right? Give me the thing. I just said that. Yeah. So, come check us out if you're local in the area, and if you want to congregate, you can come do that. Let me see here. Let me fix this. What else we got here? Classes are Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So if you want to participate in that, you can come do that. Join us. Questions, congregate, do all that good stuff. For new people, we've been out here 5 months. Hold on one second. You see that button right there you keep pressing that's going to turn the whole screen black again? Don't do that. There's 2 buttons on the side. Don't press any buttons. All right? Put it right back on there. You're not going to be able to do it that way. Do me a favor, Rob. Do that, please. If you want to come get class, we've been out here almost 6 months trying to get in these streets of VA. Come join us. If y'all want to get down with some work, get busy. That's what we're out here to do. So the Most High blessed us to be able to open up a building, have a school for brothers and sisters down in the area. So supposedly, you got to plug that charger in. Supposedly, the people we've been talking to out in the area, everybody keeps saying, they need this. I think there's some brothers out in, what's that spot an hour away? Little city an hour away? Newport News or Richmond, yeah. I think there's some brothers out there, but in this area, there's not any schools or, class going on. So that's what we came out here to do. All right, we have classes in Houston. We have classes in San Antonio. We got some going down in Albuquerque. Mashaba's pilling up the ground down there. And, of course, all the other brothers that's doing it out there in Albuquerque. Don't want to forget them. So that's going on. We also have 7 days of class for you brothers and sisters that don't know between this channel and the other channel. So 7 days of class, get all the questions answered, breakdowns, whatever you need is 7 days between this channel and our main channel, which is the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. All right. So look out for that. Mashaba's Blog Talk Radio is blogtalkradio.com/MASHAHBA. That's Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:30 a.m. And if they don't go live, he has pre-recorded ones on there. My number is on the screen. It should be up there. Quatazop number's up there. Our email. And then also, if you want to give any alms, any offering, donations, or whatever, we would appreciate it. We thank all you brothers and sisters that do have given. We appreciate y'all. All right. Other than that, this class comes from a question that a brother had, or I guess he asked if we could touch on. So we're gonna touch on that. If y'all don't got any questions, give y'all a few seconds. What do we got?
How do I correct my boss who is a man? This is from a sister.
How do I what?
How do I correct my boss who's a man?
Like working boss? Is this her husband? I mean, you're not going to be able to correct your boss unless y'all got the relationship like that. Unless he's the president and you're what's the COO under that? Huh? I think that's what it is. Unless you right up under and you're working close with your boss on that level. What would be the reason for you to correct him? That's a question, man, I would like to get a little more in depth to. I mean, it's kind of broad right there. Because you're talking about a person in authority that is running their business, and then you want to correct him for what? You said that's a sister? Right. Yeah. Like, what do you want to correct him about? What do you want to tell him? Get a little more specific on that.
Okay, she has another question.
Yeah.
I remember in an old class that Priest S.O.W. said that if a person dies and they see nothing but darkness, then Scripture describes it is as hell. What scripture was he referring to?
Okay, you got to repeat that again. I didn't understand that.
I remember in an old class that Priest S.O.W. said that if a person dies and they see nothing but darkness, the scripture describes it as hell. What scripture was he referring to?
Maybe it's how he was edifying on the topic, but when you die, there's more than blackness you're going to see. I think what he was saying, and if I can speak for him, I know I can, is that the part of that punishment is being in darkness. But we know that it's not like the white man says, where you die and then it's just nothing. So that's not what he was saying. And I know he wasn't saying that based on many other classes he's done. So, go back and look at the hell class that he went over. Those topics of hell that we've been over. And you will see it's just definitely not, you die and then it's darkness. Nothing else. That, unless the scriptures tell you explicitly, and we've been over it in the annotated, when you go into Luke about Lazarus and Abraham's bosom in hell, it tells you specifically or explicitly that you go into a place of torment. You weren't just going to go into like a closet. These spirits drag you into a place of torment. So I'm thinking maybe the edification could have been more clear if that's what you got for it, or you might have misunderstood that. All right. So, like I said, I can say that, sis, because if you go back and look at the different, YouTubes that Tahawams did on hell, he doesn't say, oh, that's the all said and done. You die and then there's nothing but blackness and that's your hell. Nah, that's not what the scriptures say. The scriptures tell you that in 2nd Esdras, the 7th chapter, in the annotated 7 and let me get it real quick. 7 and 2nd Esdras. Got that big boy. 2nd Esdras 7 and 75 in the annotated. All right, so it tells you explicitly what was going to happen. That it was just more than blackness. Okay, you can read that one. You got the annotated? I'll read it to you. It's 2nd Esdras 7:75. I answered and said, if I have found favor in thy sight, O Lord, show this also to thy servant, whether after death, as soon as every one of us yields up his soul, what shall be kept in rest? We shall be kept in rest until those times come when thou wilt renew creation, or whether we shall be tormented at once. So it tells you, he answered and said, I will show you thee also, but do not be associated with those that have shown scorn, nor number yourself among those who are tormented. For you have a treasure of works laid up with the Most High. He's speaking to Esdras himself at this time. But it will not be shown to you until the last days. Now, concerning death, the teaching is, when the decisive decree has gone forth from the Most High that a man shall die, as the spirit leaves the body, to return again to him who gave it, first of all, it adorns the glory of the Most High. So you're gonna see the glory of the Most High, right? So this is it. You're not just gonna see blackness. The first step is you're gonna adorn the glory of the Most High. So, like I said, you might have heard that wrong. He could have edified a little bit better. Go ahead.
Verse 79, if it is one of those who have shown scorn,
right,
and have not kept the way of the Most High,
right. So if it's a person that have not kept the way of the Most High and shown scorn, right, like a lot of people are doing nowadays, go ahead,
who have despised his law and hated those who fear God, such spirits shall not enter into habitation.
Go ahead.
But shall immediately wander about in torment.
So you see, it wasn't just, your spirit goes back to the Most High and it's just darkness. Nah, your spirit goes back to the Most High and would it say,
but shall immediately.
No, hold on. And it says, first of all, it adorns the glory of the Most High. So you get to be in the presence of the Most High, and there's that. And I don't like to use it, but I'm using it just so y'all can get a comprehension of what it's talking about. What they call it, purgatory, right? But we know that you're literally going to be punished before the punishment. It's telling us here that you're going to go in torments. All right, so hopefully that edifies a little bit better on that point. All right, what else?
She went back on the question about the laws. She says, I work in the public school system. He just mistreats my position, and I want to tell him it's not okay without being out of order.
He does what to her position?
Mistreats the position.
you gotta remember, sis, that power and that rule was given to him.
Sorry, she had it.
What's that?
My husband already spoke with him and we worked out a solution. But in the future, how will I go about setting boundaries, correcting if mistreated, etc.?
Exactly how you did before. Having your husband speak to him. That's how you do it. That's the level you want to deal with it. That's to make it easy. And the reason why I didn't go there first is because when you said Jasmine, I wasn't sure if your husband had even the knowledge to be able to do that. You know what I mean? But that's how you want to do it. You want to be able to have your husband communicate with your husband, and he goes with wisdom, step to this individual and tell him if he's crossing boundaries outside of what he needs to be. Now, I don't know those boundaries. Like I said, there's a lot of questions. I will come back and say, what boundaries? Is that boundaries against you? Is that boundaries? Is he messing with you? Is he just showing out at work? Is he not? You know what I mean? It's a lot of questions. You know, that's one where you might want to go inside classes, Jasmine, and ask Quatazat in class. That way he can go back and forth with you on what the specifics are. I mean, to give right wisdom, you know, and forgive me for going about it like this, but a lot of these questions we got to go back and forth on because sometimes we move too quick and we answer the question the wrong way. So to be a real judge, you got to be able to ask certain questions on the questions that's given. You know, we've been wrong in the past. A lot of brothers been wrong by jumping to conclusions. So, I mean, that's what we learn. So we try to watch out for that. That being said, go in class, ask that question so you can go back and forth with Quatazat on the specifics and he can get a little more in detail on that. All right. What else we got?
I don't understand. The brother that we had first asked what is gestation, and then he said, "Can you break down from 75 on the ungodly?" But there's no other scripture or what he's asking.
Can you break down to the 75 ungodly?
He said, "Can you break down from 75 on the ungodly?" That's the question.
Okay, Dawa, yeah, you got to be a little more specific on that. What are you meaning? Did you scroll up and make sure you're seeing this whole question? Here, let me get on there too. Let me log in. Let's see here, because Dawa. Can you break down from 75 on the ungodly? So he's talking about, and they annotated, right? Yeah, he's talking about, 2nd Ezra 7:57. Yeah. Go there, go back there. 2nd Ezra 7, it's in the annotated. Go ahead and read that.
2nd Ezra chapter 7 verse 75. I answered and said, if I have found favor in your sight, O Lord, show this also to your servant, whether after death, as soon as every one of us yields up the soul, we shall be kept in rest until those times come when you will renew the creation, or whether we shall be tormented at once.
Right, so what verse you just read?
Verse 75.
Right. So, if I have found favor in thy sight, O Lord, show this to thy servant. So remember, he's talking to the angel. Whether after death, as soon as everyone who yields up the soul, we shall be kept in rest until the times come. Well, you know how some brothers don't believe in regeneration? And they think or they don't believe in hell. They think, everybody just goes into this lovely place and nobody gets punished. he's answering that question. Because Esdras is asking it, like, do you go to this place to where you're just chilling, right? You're relaxing until, what do you say?
Whether after death, as soon as every one of us gives up,
we shall be kept in rest until those times come when thou wilt renew the creation. So he's asking them, well, what happens when we die? And are we just kept in the bosom of the Most High, or Abraham's bosom, right? Or the kingdom or heaven, until the renewing of the earth comes, right? So you got, when some shall be raised to everlasting life, some shall be raised to everlasting life. So he's answering a lot of questions right here, showing us that, okay, is there a punishment? Is there such thing as a purgatory? He's going to answer that. Go ahead.
Or whether we shall be tormented at once.
Right. So which one is it? Right. So he said 75, right? Or did he say 75 on down?
Until there are verse 81 through 87 of 2nd Ezra 7.
Oh, he wants to go down, right?
Huh?
Go ahead, read.
Verse 76.
Yeah.
He answered me and said, I will show you that also, but do not include yourself with those who have shown scorn.
Right, because Esdras wasn't like them. He wasn't living his life like the people of the world. Which all of us, we're fighting to come out of. We're constantly, daily checking ourselves to make sure we don't live like these people that show scorn. And, we talk about it all the time. We talk about it all the time when it comes to showing scorn, like this is a game. It's about a show. Scorning the prophets. You got to watch. A lot of people think this is a game, it's a joke. We talked about brothers and sisters coming in not really wanting to learn and listen, right? Show scorn. So scorn, let me see here. Scorn. So scorn is the feeling of or belief that someone or something is worthless or despicable. Contempt. How many brothers and sisters roll and act like that? Like they act like the work, the knowledge, the truth, the mission, the goal is worthless. So, and a lot of times that comes from brothers not going through the scriptures and understanding what is the work. So the angel's reminding him, listen, don't put yourself in that category because you're not like them. Go ahead.
Or number yourself among those who are tormented.
For
you have a treasure of works stored up with the Most High.
Right. So, once again, something we always talk about. Seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Lay yourselves up treasures in heaven. Constantly the goal. What are you doing and what have you done for the Most High in Christ? Right? We always talk about the works that need to be accomplished. Outward fruits and inward fruits. Fruits within your spirit changing, and outward fruits, which are the works. So those are where you're going to get the treasures from. Go ahead.
But it will not be shown to you until the last time.
Right, but he's reminding him, I'm not going to just let you know that until the end. Until the end comes, then you'll know the specifics. Your blessings and those things. Go ahead.
Now concerning death, the teaching is, when the decisive decree has gone out from the Most High, that a person shall die, as the spirit leaves the body to return again to him who gave it. Right. First of all, it adores the glory of the Most High.
And we've been over this a million times, man. This is one topic that we've murdered all the time. According to the scriptures, Psalms 129, it tells you that when you die, your spirit goes back to the Most High right? Your body goes to the earth, and the Most High, there is a regeneration where the Most High can call your spirit again and go back into the earth. We've been over that many a times. So this is just showing you exactly those precepts. It's true that there was no misinterpretation or misunderstanding. It's telling you plain out what happens through the process of death. Go ahead.
If it is one of those who have shown scorn,
right? If it's one of those that has shown scorn, and I want to bring that to mind because this is the brother's question. Remember, having that scorn, you got to watch what type of spirit you got on you. The feeling of or belief of someone or something is worthless. You got to watch how you treat your brothers, sisters, the truth. You know, a lot of y'all come in for the wrong things, man, and the only worth is your carnal things, and everything else is worthless. Got to be careful. You're showing scorn. Go ahead.
And have not kept the way of the Most High. Who have despised his law.
Right. And there you go. That's for the Christians, the ones that, the law's done away with. We don't got to keep the laws. We just went over that. The law is spiritual. Right. So yeah, you got to keep the laws. You got to keep the law. Being in the spirit, you will keep the laws. We've been over that. Go ahead.
And hated those who feared God.
And a lot of people hate us. I was just talking to my 15-year-old daughter about, her friends in school. They hate that righteous spirit on her. They want to distort it so bad. They want her to get to talk about boys, and they want her to get to think like them. And she's like, nah, you guys ain't, your brain ain't even on. What's the point of me talking about these boys or trying to get with two boys? It's like, now these are like, how old are these girls?
One of them's 14 and the other one just turned 15.
Yeah, 14 and 15. You got to think about this. She's having to battle this in high school. Right, and they're telling her how to be a hoe at a young age. But because they hate righteousness and they don't even know it. Yeah, that's what their parents have taught them. But this is the spirit of this world. We're in the midst of a crooked and perverse generation. So, and who have hated the fear of the Most High. Go ahead.
Such spirits shall not enter into habitation.
They're not going to enter into the habitation of glory and righteousness and peacefulness and being with the Most High. Right? That judgment, when he sees them, he's going to send them over there. Listen, you still got to go to the judge before you go get your final sentence. So a lot of people don't understand that. It's like you go to jail. You know what I mean? He says, okay, he brings you before the judge. The judge tells you, okay, well, we didn't get to you today. We're going to have to sentence him tomorrow. That's how it is. But you're still in jail. Right? Go ahead.
But shall immediately wander about in torments.
Right. So there you go. There is, when you die now, you are put in torments until you're raised again. And obviously if you're in torments, you're going to be judged to scorn again, and you're going to be put back in torments. Some shall be raised to everlasting life. Some shall be raised to everlasting torment, destruction, death. Go ahead.
Always grieving and sad.
Always what?
Grieving and sad. In 7 ways.
Right.
The first way, because they have scorned the law of the Most High.
So just a reiteration that they have scorned the laws, commandments of the Most High. They thought they were worthless. All right. Where did he want us to go to?
To 87.
Oh, he wants us to go all the way down, huh? Let's get in it. Go ahead.
The second way, because they cannot now make a good repentance so that they may live.
Right. So when you go back into the story of Lazarus, the rich man, remember the rich man said, let me go back and warn my brothers. He said, you can't go back. He said, they have Moses and the prophets. Same thing here is showing us, man, that they cannot offer anything up extra what they don't have in their body. I always say it, this is your body. right? This cup right here. What you fill it with is what you're going to have to present to the Most High. If you fill it with dirt, wickedness, pride, envy, and you didn't peel all that dirt out of there, this is what you're going to bring towards the Most High. And this is people don't see that. They're thinking like, oh, you know what? I can mix the old wine with the new wine, the old cloth with the new cloth, and I'm going to be good. That's your desire. We supposed to be a brand new vessel made to be poured into the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. But what is the biggest problem with Israelites? I want to keep all the old stuff. This is how I am. You're trying to change me. You're trying to change my mind. Why are you trying to change who I am? Why are you trying to change my character? Your characters of Satan. Born out of pain, suffering, child abuse, mental abuse, being touched on, born out of pride. That's not you. That's the old hurt, touched on man and woman. All right, you've been touched on by Satan. Go ahead.
83.
The
third way, they shall see the reward laid up for those who have trusted the covenants of the Most High.
Right. When you read this is nothing different than what Yahushua was telling them in the parable of Lazarus. You see, remember it said, you see them, it's a plane to where you can see what's going on with the righteous. So you see how this is on point. Two things we're learning here. These verses that they took out in their regular apocrypha coincides with what Yahushua said. 1. 2, we're seeing that Yahushua wasn't telling a story over the fireplace with marshmallows just to talk crap. You know what I mean? He never does that in the parable. So if you heard, oh yeah, that was just a parable, that wasn't real, then you should ask that brother, so wait a minute, all the parables Yahushua told us, he was just talking mess? No, every parable Yahushua told us was a true moment. And that true moment was supposed to be relayed to you. So, just something to put back in your mind, man, to remember, man. This place is a place that the Most High has prepared for the wicked. Go ahead.
The fourth way, they shall consider the torment laid up for themselves in the last days.
So, you're finna go into torment, and then you're thinking about the torment that's gonna come. Because you already know, okay, this ain't going to be the first torment. You're thinking about the final judgment. So that's torment in itself. Yeah, this is, that's why I said this is not a game. This has to do with your soul. That's why you got brothers and sisters coming in to schools, and not just only our school, all these schools playing games. You're coming in for the wrong reason. Your lust is guiding you to come in and look for men or women. You're so cocky and prideful, you don't want to be told nothing about yourself. You better ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Go ahead.
The fifth way, they shall see how the habitations of the others are guarded by angels with profound quiet.
Right, so you're going to be able to see the glory of the righteous. Them rejoicing on the other side. Go ahead.
The sixth way, they shall see how some of them were crossed over into torment.
Right. So they're seeing, they're being able to see this. Like if you were standing at the front door and there's a line, and you see on the other side heaven, and then you see on one side the torment, and you got people going to torment, or these souls going to torment. So you get to see this ahead of time. This is what he's telling us. Go ahead. What you was going to say?
No, I said, that sucks.
Bro, it does suck. But this is why the Most High is merciful and graceful. This is why the Most High has men teaching on these streets, brothers spreading the gospel, and a brother there or a sister there to remind you of the way not to go. And he gave us what? All the years of your life, Plus, because a lot of us have came back and heard the message over and over again. Right? So how much mercy do you need to be told after generation and generation and generation?
One time would be enough. You would think one time would be enough.
It's not the case with a lot of us. Like, think about how many brothers hoop rah about coming in the truth, and they had dreams, and Yahweh told them that this brother was going to give them the knowledge and the truth. And then the first time they get corrected, their butthole gets hurt. And then they start to disannul everything they're being told. They're so easy to throw it away. Like I said, they sell their birthright like Satan. I mean, like the devil, like Esau. Right? So, yeah, you would think it is, but a lot of brothers and sisters don't think the worth is worth their pride, their ego. I was just talking about that with Quatzal. I was like, man, it sucks to see. We were talking about somebody that they're having physical issues, and he's like, well, yeah, you've been saying it, juice, take care of your body, and I'm like, it just sucks to see. If you would listen, and you would listen to the little wisdom you're getting, it would help you the long way. But you start being stubborn, and then stubborn gets so long that it's hard to catch up. You know what I mean? So, listen, man. Every man's got to bet they're gonna learn. Every man shall seek out his own soul salvation. We got to keep just doing what we're doing, warning the wicked, warning your brother. Go ahead.
Verse 87. The seventh way, which is worse than all the ways that have been mentioned, because they shall utterly waste away in confusion and be consumed with shame, and shall wither with fear at seeing the glory of the Most High, in whose presence they sinned while they were alive.
Right, and that's what they don't see, that the Most High is watching us right now. There's nowhere that you are hid. Imagine if you can see the angels standing in front of you all the time, constantly watching you. So, yeah. Where do you think they at? The angels are always here. They just are out of the sight to where we can see. So when you murmur, when you lust, when that pride, when that hate, the Most High, they see it. The Most High eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. So, when you think like that, you start watching your thoughts like, okay, I know the Spirit, the Most High is watching me right now. Go ahead.
And in whose presence they are to be judged in the last times.
Right. So, there it is. Is that the verse you wanted to go to?
Yeah, it was up to verse 87.
Right. So, hopefully that answered your question, Dawiyad. All right. All right. What else we got here? Do we got anything else on there? No? Okay. So I got something here right now. All right. This is going to go into the brother that asked the question. All right. So I'm gonna touch on both sides, touching on his question. So we're gonna go right into this topic, and this topic is come from, the brother said, "Hey, listen, how am I gonna get through to my rib that basically she's always usurping the authority?" You know what I mean? And you got a lot of that. You got a lot of this in Israel. Because a lot of women come in and a lot of men come in, and it's like you got two people working at trying to be righteous, right? You got both of them growing in the spirit. And a lot of times the men and the women hold resentment from the past. So instead of starting with a fresh new slate, they come in and they judge according to that. So you never get caught up. You never, in that person's mind, are able to meet up to the standard So what happens? You get confusion, you get negative, you get arguing, you get back and forth, right? You get fighting, you get bitterness, and this is when you in the truth, right? Now you would think, right? Wives, obey your husbands. It's that easy, right? You tell the sister, listen, this is what the commandment says. You're supposed to follow that commandment, right? It doesn't happen like that. Now, why doesn't it happen like that? Why doesn't a woman, and Shawashina, you can help out here. Why don't a woman just if it says obey, let me obey. Why wouldn't a woman just obey her husband?
I think growing up in this time, we are taught not to let anybody run over us.
Okay, so good one. I'm going to stop you there just to get it out there. You're taught don't let nobody run over you. What else? I want to see if you're going to get a little deep in this. What else?
Usually, well, a lot of women say that we're smarter than men, so...
2, she's hitting right points. That the woman is smarter than men. That's what America teaches, right? The woman is more intellectual. You grow quicker than the man. Right? Isn't that what they say? You mature faster. Right? And they equate that to now the women are wiser than men. Right? So, coming through the door already, I'm already ahead of you, bruh. I'm already ahead of you. I got the wisdom. I'm smarter, right? You might be math smart. Go ahead, what else? What else?
If the man is not doing what you want, then you don't have to do what he wants.
Right? The man is not doing what he want, do what you want. But you know where I wanted you to go to? A lot of times the women don't respect the man because they see the mistakes the man makes. They see the imperfections. Right? Now this is something that happens across the board when we deal with anything. Right? You got a brother. Y'all grow up together in the truth. You take the test before him. Right? A prophet getting not honor in his own city. He's looking at you through your mistakes and saying, oh, bro, you're not perfect. It happens with men. So, it is kind of personalized with the men and the women, but it's not. Because this is something that be wrong with people. Because their logic, according to the scriptures, ain't right. So they're not giving that person a fresh slate to be able to say, nah, it's time for this person to grow into what's new. I got to give him time. He got to give me time. Right? Remember we went over judging the other day? What?
I'm just saying that I was thinking more like worldly aspects, but like in the truth, when a woman, I mean, I can maybe know you, but when a woman comes in, they're expecting the man to be perfect. And I thought the same thing when I was young.
Right.
I'm coming into this truth that's supposed to be about God.
Truth.
You gotta be perfect.
Right.
If you make a mistake, then
That's it.
I have no need to make any mistake like that because you're not perfect like I thought.
Right. Very good point. A lot of times we supposed to be perfect without blame. And then she looks at you, she says you make mistakes, and then it's like, wait a minute. You're not bulletproof. And a lot of times that distorts the woman's outlook. Now, that being said, you got to go look at the class I did on judgment. Thou that judges, and understand that no, you got to give your husband a new a chance. A woman that is going to fall under 1 Peter's. Go ahead and go there real quick. 1 Peter's 3:1, because we got to get down to the point. Really, in my notes, I have 1 Peter's 3:6, but let's read it down. Let's go through this again, and we'll talk about it a little more. Go ahead and read that.
1 Peter chapter 3 verse 1.
Yeah.
Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands.
Right. So I'm not subject, right? Like, you get this. Subject, right? Subject. Let's see here. Let's see what subject is. Subject. Likely or prone to be affected, particular, dependent, right? Dependent or conditional upon, right? Conditionally upon, cause of force or on the go. Okay. Bring under one's control or jurisdiction. There you go. So you got the woman coming in. Now, we're talking to Israelite women. The brother that's asking has been in the truth, or rather known of the truth, right?
Okay.
You know the knowledge, and the woman is supposed to know the knowledge, right?
Okay.
So we're talking about two couples that say, I both believe in Christ. They're not arguing over Christmas and Halloween and Thanksgiving and, you know what I mean, you gonna get high. And these are Israelites. They know the laws. They know the commandments. Well, what would stop that woman falling under the jurisdiction of the man? What's going to stop her? Right? We know the scripture. The woman wasn't supposed to usurp authority over the man. Take power or control that wasn't hers in the first place. Usurp, right? So, why won't she fall under the jurisdiction of this man, her husband? Because this is the problem we're having. Why won't she fall under the jurisdiction of her husband? Because a lot of times she sees those imperfections. And she thinks her logic is better. Now, the truth is, are any of you perfect? No. But she still won't give the control to him. Because the fact is this. Think about it. If y'all been in the truth 2 or 3 years, you still got a lot of worldly stuff on you. Okay. Right? You still got a lot of things you're working on. So there's no way you can say, whether being the woman or the man, you're perfect. None can say that. 30 years in the truth. Oh yeah, I got it down. Nah. No, it don't work like that. So this just shows you how your mind is not working correctly. Because if it's going based off of, he's supposed to be perfect, we ain't never gonna be perfect. You know what I mean? Yeah, I might get better. I'm not the man I used to be when I was, 18 when I met you? Right, I'm sorry. Right, I would definitely want that young. I was like 20, like 25. I definitely wasn't that version of myself. And I'm not that version now, but it took time to grow. So, but did the scripture apply? Was she still supposed to be subject to her husband?
Okay.
You see that? Yes. Yes. She still had to be subject to her husband. Right? Just like when we come to the truth of the Most High, we come in dirty and filthy. Could you use that excuse and say, well, you know what? I'm too dirty. You got people that do it. You know what I mean? No, I'm too filthy. God don't want me. Wait a minute. God don't want me. Right? You get people that do that. Well, why did he call you? Because he wants you. Yeah, but I'm too filthy. The Lord he won't use me. I'm too dirty, No, bro, get your stuff. Get your bags. Let's do this. Right? But you got people that come up with excuses. Same thing in this situation. The woman can't come up with an excuse and say, well, he's not perfect. You know what I mean? He still makes mistakes. Every time I talk about this subject about, what did it say? It says, subject, bring a person or country under one's control or jurisdiction. Okay? You were supposed to, now it says here by force, by using force. We know that following the laws, the commandments, it should not be by force. I always say it, and I'll tell my ribs to this day right now. If I got to argue with you for you to be submissive in order, then I no longer have the control that was supposed to be given to me. You shouldn't have to argue with anybody. Respect should be given, not taken. Right? And it's earned. It is. But in this case, we know that nobody's going to be perfect. You got to walk that path with him like he's walking with you, as you both are making mistakes, but you still got to be subject. You see that? Peter, Paul, all these prophets, apostles, they weren't Yahweh Shai. You know how many mistakes they were making? But did that not make Peter the rock or the stone? No. Did that not make Paul the guy that Yahweh Shai was going to use to go teach the Gentiles? No. They still had to walk their path, being imperfect and cleaning themselves up along the way, more and more, and getting their mind right. So, y'all got to see this, that I think a lot of sisters get it misconstrued. That's the law. That's the commandment. This is what the Most High said from the beginning. This is what Eve gave to Adam. Okay, go ahead.
That if any obey not the word.
Right. And we've been over this. But why do we have to keep reiterating it? Because sisters don't really understand what you're doing when you destroy and usurp authority over your husband. But we're going to get to the point that I wanted to go into. Go ahead, read on.
They also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wise.
Right, so we know that. All right. So jump to verse 6. Let's get to the point that I wanted to get to. Go ahead.
Verse 6. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are,
right,
as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement.
Right. So it commas here twice. As long as you do well, comma, and are not afraid with any amazement. Two things. As long as you follow the commandments, you follow the scriptures, not your pride, not your ego, not what you think and why you think. The Most High knows He put imperfect men there. Let's be real with this. There's none, the Bible says there's none clean. No, not one. But He put that man there to be your husband. So you trying to tell me the Most High don't know what He's doing? He knows what He's doing. He knows what He's doing. Now, I'm telling you, we're talking about a Hebrew Israelite man, a man that's trying to work and continually evolve to the point to where he can shine brighter and brighter unto the perfect day. We know that's what the scripture says. That we're supposed to be shining brighter and brighter unto the perfect day. Cleaner and cleaner. That man. Not talking about weed heads. Gotta put that out there now. Because the weed head, the woman abuser, the niggas that's putting a Glock in his woman's mouth, we not talking to you. You niggas, you ain't never going to get your woman in order. You ain't never going to get your woman in order, bruh. Why? Because you ain't in order. We're not talking about you niggas that come in the truth just to get women and use the Bible to bully them and to get more women. You niggas are never going to have what you want. You're never going to have peace in your house. You're never going to have a woman in order. It's not like that. The Most High is not going to bless that. We're talking about men that are moving forward. And I'm not going to say his name, but I am going to read the text because it's going to give context of this subject and what we're talking about. He said, I also need help on how I handle myself as a husband. And that's why I'm going into that point. You as the husband, you got to keep showing growth and moving forward. Her as the wife, she's got to let you grow. Now, this subject we talked about many a times. This This is not only husband and wife, this is brothers and brothers. You get brothers that come into truth at a young age, man. And you got to let brothers make mistakes, correct them, move forward as a brother. Now, as a wife, you got to let your husband make a mistake. And if you don't know how to be there for him and help him up, listen to why I'm wording it that way, because it's not correction. If you don't know how to be there for him and help him up, then you need to shut your mouth. Because all you're going to do is usurp authority, do it the wrong way, and try to look at him and knowing doggone well, first of all, by you doing that, you're out of order. You're stepping out of the order. That's what you're not getting. Well, he made a mistake. I got to correct him. How you going to fix a mistake with a mistake? You're going to fix a problem with doing and making a problem. Yeah, man, this is simple, man. This is very, very simple. You're creating a problem with the problem. So we'll get into the logic of supposedly problems. Because what are we dealing with? You want to homeschool, I don't. Y'all, watch it now. The world is finna end. Like, we're not dealing with, life and death situations. We're dealing with regime change and control. And really, a lot of women don't want to be ruled over and to have the man be the head. So let's not play with this. This is not, listen, he got a gun in my mouth, finna blow my brains out. Obviously, the nigga's a nut. You don't got to be with that. We're talking about a man that, hey, babe, we're not going to do homeschool because I don't think we need to do this, that. Well, I think we need to, right? And you start doing all that nigga, loud, head, bopping and all that, and then it's like you lost control. You didn't do it the way Yahweh Shai said. So we got to see this. Right? 2 things here. Read that last part again.
And are not afraid with any amazement.
Right. As long as you do well. What is doing well? What is a woman and how does she do well? We're going to go right back to the first verse. Read it again.
Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husband.
That's doing well. That's doing well. Being subject to your husband. Go ahead.
And that if any obey not the word.
That if any what?
Obey not the word.
That's when you're not doing well. You see how ABC this is? ABC 1, 2, 3. You're not doing well when you try to usurp authority. You're doing well when you obey your husband. You're subject to him. By all means, can I say it one more time? If he tells you to jump off the bridge, look around, say, okay, is our life threatened? Wait a minute. Are we running from somebody and we have to dive into the water and get out of here? If not, hold on. Why you want me to jump off the bridge, man? But we're not dealing with those things. We deal with your ego. A lot of sisters, it happens in my house. 15 years and 14 years, is it? 16 years and 15 years? 15, 13, 15, 14. I think it's like 16, 4. I don't know. It's a long damn time. But I have to recalibrate their brains when they think they're smarter and wiser and more intelligent. Not saying they're dummies, but when their brain is so illogical that they want to usurp authority every time, I got to come back and say, okay, let's stop. Because you're out of order now. You're falling out of line when they don't care about being subject. So this is what has to be, this is how you deal with it. When you do well, jump back to verse 6. When you do well, as long as you do well, go ahead.
And are not afraid.
And are not a what?
Afraid.
And are not what?
Afraid.
This is the problem. Now we get into the excrement of the class. This is the problem. A lot of sisters are afraid. You don't want to let go of the power the white man gave you. You don't want to let go of the power that Oprah and Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith gave you. Right? That the devil gave you. Yeah, they gave him power too. The power they gave them was, you know what? You an independent black, nobody tells you nothing, right? Thong wearing, nipple showing, loud crying, disrespectful, home alone, you ain't got no man with that nappy ass weave, hair wearing woman, right? Or overweight, Issacharite, right? Girdle rinsed, instead of a sweet smell stink woman. Sorry I had to put it that way. But you got to understand that that's the power they gave you. And when you fall into that power of the left-hand side, you fall into the curse. You're afraid. What are you afraid of? What are they afraid of? Not the girdle and the stink. What I'm talking about, what are they afraid of? Being ran over. What else? What are they afraid of? Because it says here, and are not afraid with any amazement. Because that's how it is. This comes back down to they're amazed. They're like he's supposed to be my Lord? Yes, me Lord. Right? He's supposed to, I'm his subordinate? Nigga, my mama, my daddy, they don't tell me nothing. Exactly. That's why you're ruthless. You're out of order. You're disgruntled. You're disobedient. Right? It's because you had no order in your life. Right? So what is it that gets them afraid? Huh? Why Shawashana is helping us out with this? Because the other sisters are at the zone. Go to 1 John 4:18. I'm putting her on blast tonight. Alright? Not on blast. She's willing, huh? Shawashana. There you go. So what are they afraid of? Changing? Okay, Marwilla. Alright. Come in with that heat. Alright. What else? What else are they afraid of? Tell me online, what are these women afraid of? Being corrected. Come on, man. Bro, your name is the teacher. Teach them. You know what I mean? Let's go. Right? They're afraid of being corrected.
Kayas, she said, afraid her man won't support her, leave her after she has given up everything.
That's true. And this is where the amazement comes from. Because you're like, once I do this, once I give him the power, what this nigga gonna do with it? Right? What is he gonna do with it? That's why the men have to show themselves faithful. Now, when I say that, let's be real, that doesn't mean perfect. You gotta look and see if your husband's faithful to the word, to the Most High, and has a conscience. I got to remind my ribs. Hold on a second. Yeah, I might make mistakes, but are you not looking at my character? Come. Yeah, you might not see it, but are you not looking at my character and being able to say, wait a minute, if all fails, I know his character, what type of man he's going to stand for and stand in. What else we got online?
Afraid her husband will fail them both.
and you see why the man got to stand up? This is why brothers got to stop and show them the example. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm throwing my sitch out there tonight. I've been consistent. That not saying I'm perfect. Okay? I've been consistent. for the time, for 16 years that my ribs have known me. Consistent. I haven't went to Buddhism. I haven't went to Islam. I haven't started smoking weed all of a sudden. I didn't pick up a cigarette to deal with my problems. Yes, I did maybe have a little bit too much to drink, right? Because, it's lawful. But I had to learn that what is not expedient, right? So they had to see me go through those things, right? Did we argue? Yes. Was I young? Yes. So they seen those things. But what they did see also was, Kazakia has never veered from the time I seen him to now. You know why a lot of brothers don't get the respect from their rib? Because you niggas are transformers. What are you today? You know what I mean? Oh yeah, don't go to class. Why, babe? Well, I don't want you to go to class. Me and the brothers, we having a disagreement. What? So you telling me not to go to class, not to get the knowledge now. But didn't you do that with the other school and the other brothers? Didn't you do that when we was in the world, when you was a Crip, and all of a sudden when you was a Blood? Right? It's like, wait a minute. Like, oh, you back up to your same tricks. Okay, nigga. And then you go home, right? And you like, listen, you got to give it the order. And she's like looking at you, you fake phony nigga. Like, no. Now, my ribs can't say that about me. They can't say, oh, this nigga's going to switch one day to be a Muslim. They're going to be able to say, man, this man, yeah, he was not perfect, but he stood consistent. Now, let me ask y'all this. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, were they Yahweh Shai? But they were what? But they were righteous. People look at Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob like they didn't make mistakes. There's a lot of mistakes they made. And this is why the women don't judge correctly, and you're amazed when it has to give up power. When you have to give up that power, you fear. What else they got online? Sisters, come on, let's get into it tonight. Let's get dirty. Take this 10, 11, 12. Let's go.
Brothers are taking it in there too.
What? What do we got?
My brother said that's that trust your feelings girl.
That what?
Trust your feelings girl.
Trust your feelings, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah? What else?
Sister, depending on someone else. They're afraid of depending on someone else.
They're what?
Afraid of depending on that person.
Yeah, they're afraid of depending on someone else. Right, and that's why if you're a righteous woman, you're supposed to do what the scriptures say, be a pillar of rest. You're supposed to be a pillar of rest. You're supposed to be a pillar of rest. But you don't know how to strategically be a helpmeet for your husband. You are fighting over power and control. That's what's happening. You understand that? It's a fight over power and control. This is the problem. What you got to say?
I was listening.
Right? Yeah, he's like, right? Exactly. This is what we got to understand, man. And this is a problem with a lot of brothers and sisters in a lot of households. That's why you're amazed. I know we haven't went past this because if we listen to that 1 Peter 3:1 down to verse 6, we can understand what the hell the problems are. You don't want to be subject, and therefore it's an amazement when we go over classes like this. Y'all probably looking at me like, this nigga's serious. I'm very serious. The Most High is very serious. In the kingdom, what the hell do you think you're going to be? You're going to be subject. Subject. So read that. Read where you're at.
1 John chapter 4 verse 18. There is no fear in love.
Right.
But perfect love casteth out fear.
So, why do you fear with amazement? Why? Because you don't fully believe that Yahweh, the Most High, got your back. You don't have trust in the Most High. So you're like, nah, I don't believe this is a good situation. Yeah, I can see that when you put yourself in a lot of these situations. But yet the Most High has control over these Israelites' households because the law is in them. Right? The law is there. The scriptures, the commandments, you guiding yourself by these things. So if you're guiding yourself by these things, then what's supposed to happen? You're supposed to let the work, let the Spirit, do its work. Let your husband do his job. Put faith and trust in the Most High. Read it again.
There is no fear in love.
There's no what?
Fear in love.
Fear. Watch, read on.
But perfect love casteth out fear.
Why? Read.
Because fear hath torment.
Fear have what?
Torment.
Fear hath torments. That's why. Fear hath torment. And why is there struggle? Because sisters are tormented. They don't know where to go. You're like, I'm in this situation. I'm panicking. He wants me to do it this way. I'm going to do it this way. You know what? Let me put my stake down. You ain't taking control. And this is all in your head. And you're looking at him like, nope, nigga. Nope. Con. Yeah. 1 Peter, Ecclesiastes 25, 26, Genesis 2. Con. I know. Right? Don't usurp authority. But guess what? It's going to be my way. Right? Yeah, like that that American Psycho is all in your brain. And you get in these situations and you panic. You lose control because you don't have perfect love. For who? For the Most High, for your husband. If you have perfect love, it casts out the fear. Because fear brings what?
He that feareth is not made perfect in love.
There you go. He that fear is not made perfect in love. That's why you're tormented. And guess what, sisters? It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. You're going to do this until you push your husband away. All because you don't got trust in the Most High. You're going to push him away. He ain't going to want to be around you. Why? Because, I didn't want to take it to all the other 75,000 scriptures we've been over 1 million times. But like it says, you're going to push him to the rooftop. You're going to push him to the corner of the house. Allow a woman driving away the enemies. A woman with many words is dealing with a quiet, silent man is like an old man walking up a sandy hill. All those scriptures we done pull over and over. I didn't want to get those. I wanted to show y'all that the torment in you is because you don't have love for the Most High and Yahweh Shai. And that's why it's stopping you. What we got?
Just a comment. She said women are not taught how to be good wives or mothers. So we have to depend on our husbands like our babies depend on us for milk.
Read it one more time.
Women are not taught to be a good wife or mother. We have to depend on our husband like our babies depend on us for milk. She's making a comment. Did you get it?
It's supposed to be it's supposed to be unity. Watch, go to 1 Corinthians 11 and 1. Right, so women aren't taught to be what? Good wives.
Yeah, so she said we have to depend on our husbands like babies depend on our milk.
Well, first of all, scripturally, it's not that you're depending on your husband. It's that it's like a corporation. You're working together in your order. You're not depending on your husband. You're depending on the Most High. And that's what you don't see. You're depending on the Most High and you're saying, Yahweh, you said what? What did Yahweh say? Go ahead, read that 1 Corinthians 11 and 1.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1. Be followers of me, even as I also am of Christ.
Go ahead.
Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you.
Go ahead.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
So, what you're finding out is the order. It's not that you're dependent on a man. It's that you're falling under the order so we can do things as a unit, as a family, as a nation, under our Savior, which is under the Creator. That's what we're going to find out. That mind state will get you to battle everything your husband is laying down. Our head is Yahweh Shai. Do we not depend on Yahweh Shai? Do we not depend on Him blessing us, giving to us, being there for us? So yeah, but not in the way you're saying, because He's not doing it. He's not doing it. He's not coming down and doing it for us. We put our trust in Him and believe that He will be there and strengthen our works. You got no trust in Yahweh. You got no faith. You're a faithless generation. And you bring that to your household and your husband. And he's like, what? He's like, man, you know what? All she does is battle. All she does is argue. All she does is fight. All she does is come up against what I'm saying. No matter what I say. It gets tiring. It's tiring, man. Right? Where you don't even want to be around that type of individual. But this is what you're supposed to be honoring. Yahweh Shai is the head. Go ahead.
And the head of the woman is the man.
That the dependence is on the order. The blessing is the order. Righteousness. This is the order. This is what the scripture says. Go ahead.
And the head of Christ is God.
The head of Christ is God. That's the order. That's what is going to keep us from Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Her eye shall be evil towards him. His eye shall be evil towards her. And then the kids are cast out. Y'all got to learn this, man. You got to put your trust in what the Most High is saying. What? Go ahead.
What to do if your husband is falling short in the law, his marriage, and his job at work, basically doing things, half doing things. And then she added, if your husband's zeal is not there, no Bible reading, no praying, barely in class, then what do we women wanting to follow the law with the lack of her husband doing this part of the work? So what do we do?
You're supposed to be righteous.
But yet, she has to be subjective to him, but she wants the same things for him to be there. But it's not. She'd rather not do that.
I went over a class about Abigail and Nabal. And it went in showing us, we know that Nabal was the fool that ran his mouth, that had money. He was flashing his cash on Facebook, Instagram, right? Nabal was the fool. You get those niggas, right? Yeah. That promote money and think money is success and getting smoking weed, drinking and partying, and you ended up with that man, right? What did Abigail do? She stood to righteousness. She followed the Most High and followed the will of the Most High. Now, that means that if he respects you, we go back to, remember, 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter. If they be pleased to dwell with each other. If your husband's not in the truth and he's not in the knowledge and following the Most High and Yahweh Shai, but he can respect you and not pull you away from the will and duty of the Most High, He's not making you follow, forcing you to follow these holidays and get high and do all these things, well, then that situation still can move in the spirit of the Most High. That's what 1 Corinthians 7 tells us. We can go there too. Got to jump a little bit, but let's go there. Yeah, I got an allergic reaction to this. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 7 and what? What is it?
13.
Yeah, 1 Corinthians 7 and 13. Because you're going to get that too. But remember that we've talked about this a lot, but we'll go back into it. Read this.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 13. And the woman which had an husband that believed not.
So there you go. I mean, the scriptures go right to that instance. She got a husband that don't believe. Right? Go ahead.
And if he be pleased to dwell with her.
Right. Now, if he be pleased to dwell with her means that he can respect her. Because we know, man, remember, God deals with godliness. If this man is doing wickedness and trying to get you to do wickedness, commit whoredoms, break the laws of the Most High, I don't care who that is. You don't supposed to be with him. Anybody that tries to drag you out of the spirit of the Most High, you don't have to be with that. But if this man can respect you, respect what you want in the spirit of the Most High, read.
Let her not leave him.
There it is. Let her not leave him. Go ahead.
For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife.
And what it's saying is that maybe in the future, this knucklehead might wake up. Right? Maybe he might see. Go ahead.
And the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband.
Go ahead.
Else were your children unclean, but now they are holy.
Go ahead, read on.
But if the unbelieving depart.
But if what?
If the unbelieving depart.
But he sees you're being a righteous woman.
She added one thing.
Hold on. If she's being a righteous woman, he sees you're being a righteous woman, and you're telling him, babe, I don't want that weed smoke in the house, no Christmas tree in the house. I don't want no drugs in the house. And he's like, nigga, you gonna do what I tell you? Then you got the right to say, you know what? Nah. You bringing us under, you bringing spirits, demons around us. Obviously, there's confusion. If he's willing to depart, let him go. Let him go. This is the same thing. We go over all this all the time for the man. If she's not humble, she don't want to listen, you can't force her. You got to let her go. This is what will happen. Right? What else in there?
She added, he said the truth, but still rather entertain things of the world. It falls on the woman to teach her children. She wants to do these things with him, like reading the Bible and praying, but he won't do it. She has to do it.
Then what you're telling me is that you got a young brother that has to grow the hell up. So when Israel was young as a nation and didn't have a backbone, the Most High sent a women to run that. And unfortunate, that's how it is in your household. If your man ain't stepping up to the plate, you continue being that godly woman, fighting and being the example. That's all you can do. Now, that being said, there's a trick to this, because I know this logic. That doesn't mean because he's not up to par, up to standard, you turn into the nigga beast. And now you're justified to act like the thing you are so-called judging. Remember that, sisters. You can't try to be spiritual and say, okay, yeah, he's not living up to the standard. He's not in class. He's not learning to change. And he's just still got his foot in the door and out. And then you say, well, this gives me the right to disrespect him, not honor him, argue with him. No. Sometimes you got to do it his way, even then. Right? Show him where his leadership is taking you. Right? Because if it's of the Spirit and the Most High is with you, it'll lead you in the right place. But sometimes the Most High might not have mercy on none of it. He might show you and him, look, I'm not with none of y'all actions. That's why it said there, somebody got to be the spirit in the household. You can't step out of the spirit trying to judge. It don't work like that. You know what I mean? It don't work like that. So, remember this, sisters. That's not a tool for you to be niggerish and fall out of the commandments of the Most High. Remember Abigail. She stood right. She conducted herself with class and with wisdom, even though Nabal acted out like a fool. And the Most High eventually did what to Nabal?
Took him out.
Killed him. And she was given to Abigail. The Most High will, and I'm not saying that's going to happen to these out of order husbands. I'm saying that the Most High will remove you from that situation. But you got to be just no matter what. I've been over that whole topic. What else is is that it on that point?
Yes.
Okay, let's jump back real quick. Let's jump back. Which is a good point. Like I said, the brother asked about the women point. I know women were going to come up with certain things also, but it's a real crazy line when it comes to this, because or the question the sister was saying, because a lot of y'all sisters that claim to be in the spirit and to be judging correctly, you start doing things out of order too, and then justifying yourself. You can't do that. Don't work like that, man. All right, go ahead and go back to where you were.
11, 2, 3.
Where you at?
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 2.
No, go back to
The second.
1 John 4, verse 18. I need to get some water in here. Could somebody help me out? Go ahead.
1 John chapter 4, verse 18. There is no fear in love.
Right.
But perfect love casteth out fear.
Read.
Because fear hath torment.
Right.
He that feareth is not made perfect in love.
And that's the problem a lot of times, where a lot of the women don't want to be subject to their husbands. Because you can't be fake with this. You have to understand, to give yourself to your husband, you have to be fully committed to the Most High and the commandments. You have to abide faithful. Right? Watch. Go to Romans 12 and 9. So that perfect love casts out fear. This is what we got to remember, man. Go ahead.
Romans chapter 12, verse 9.
Go ahead.
Let love be without dissimulation.
Right. And we looked this up. We looked this up before. So perfect love casts out fear, because fear brings torment. You cannot have fake love to the Most High and expect for your life, for your family, for your rib, for your husband to be in order. You sisters want a lot of things in your relationships. You can't get them because you're still dragging old things to the new. Let your husband live and walk his path. You walk your path, but it has to be in order. It can't be without dissimulation. Oh, I'm going to give him a little stream, but I'm going to fight him on everything. I'm going to be here. I'm going to help him, but I'm going to fight him on everything. A lot of sisters do that. Well, I'm a righteous sister. Look at my works. But I'm going to fight him on everything. Love's supposed to be without dissimulation. Go ahead.
Abhor that which is evil.
See, this is what sister's supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be hating what is evil. So you're supposed to fall in line under his authority, under the order of what the Most High commanded. But you got to be faithful. Go ahead.
Cleave to that which is good.
Uh-huh.
Be kindly affectionate one to another.
And that can't happen. You know why you can't show your affection and your love? And think about these relationships. I want everybody to take notice. How are these relationships when the woman tries to usurp authority? Let's deal with this. All of the relationships are standoffish, don't want to deal with each other. You barely make love anymore, right? You hate being around each other, but you're going to do it just to do it. Everything's a battle and a fight. Y'all got to understand it's not yielding any peaceable fruit. It's creating more negative. And that's because you fear with the amazement when it comes to giving rule to your husband and letting him do it. Go from there. And I'm going to jump. I'm going to jump it a little bit because time is going again. This 2-hour thing, man, it goes quick. Go to Wisdom of Solomon 17 verse 12. So this is what the problem is. The problem is the fear, man. Now, let's pull another common scripture. Let me show y'all what the fear does. Read that. Wisdom of Solomon 17 and 12.
Chapter 17, verse 12. For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason offered. Right.
So fear, when you get that fear, all it does is betray what you're supposed to be secure in. You're supposed to have put your trust in the, let me get it real quick. I keep saying it. Go to Proverbs. Let me show y'all. Go to Proverbs 3 verse 5. I think that's it. Proverbs 3 verse 5. I'm almost 99% sure that's it. Yeah, there you go. Come on.
Trust in the Lord.
No, you gotta read louder or read with the mic.
Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5.
I beat you, bruh. Go ahead.
Trust in the Lord with all thine heart.
Go ahead.
And lean not unto thine own understanding.
This is the problem. The women don't want to trust. You trust in what? Yourself. But look at the irony in this. You trust in yourself, but yourself got yourself into every bad situation. Now your husband got the truth, and you still won't give the power to the Most High and do it the way the Most High says. So you destroy that. So you put yourself back in the power of your rule, and it's a cycle. Y'all get it? It's a cycle. You keep doing the thing that destroys, and your outcome is the same. You don't trust in the Most High. Go ahead.
In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths.
And that's what it is. You won't acknowledge that the Most High put that Israelite man there for you. To now free you from those burdens. Burdens of, I've been abused, I've been used, I've been dragged through the mud. Right? I know offhand, man, a lot of sisters that got good men, but all they do is trample over them. And it's because they don't like which way he said, let's go get the groceries. You're arguing about like what road I take to get groceries and what road you take to go. And when he comes and says, listen, go this way, it's an argument. You're talking about house decision making. Whether the kids get an extra cell phone. It's so pathetic. Whether the kids get an extra cell phone or not. Well, I told you you're going to get an extra cell phone. We don't need no extra cell phone. It's like, why are we arguing about this? Is this life detrimental? But the thing is, you won't give him power to make any decisions. You won't do it. Because you don't trust in the Most High. You don't fear the Most High to say, listen, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, you said to be subject to my husband, I'm going to give him rule. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it in your hands, Yahweh. Baby, well, how do we do this? He comes back, and I guarantee you, because I do it all the time. What you think? Well, I think, whoa, right? He always does that. Righteous men always do that. So what you think? We're not just like, yeah, everything's our way. It's like, so what you think? Which way you should do it? And I know these situations. And I know y'all that are dealing with these situations, your husband does the same thing to you. He don't take so much control to where he ain't letting you move. The thing is the problem he needs to. Like I tell my ribs, when you don't have enough respect to concede when I'm telling you to do something, then I'm not going to ask you your opinion anymore because you got too much damn pride. That's what the problem is. So really, you know what he needs to do? Listen, if we don't do everything my way from now on, I'm done with you. The scripture says, if she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off and give her a bill of divorce. You know why? Because you women are going to break down the house with this. Because you don't trust. You don't believe. And everything's a dang argument. You got to start trusting back in the Most High. That no matter what, if the kids get a new cell phone, the whole world is not going to end. Let it be the way your husband said. Or if they're homeschooled. Or if this one's, your husband comes and overrides what you said and says, no, we're going to do it this way. You got to learn how to say, you know what, Khan, we'll do it that way, babe. And say, Yahweh, it's in your hands. And you don't trust. Go ahead.
Be not wise in thine own eyes.
And this is the problem. Your wisdom is the right way, even over Yahweh. Right? You're smarter than angels. When it comes to you certain you egotistic women, you are more wise than Yahweh. You always lose. You're going to be single, chubby, old, and bouncing from man to man like these chicks in the mall. Right? Seen an old ass woman. She was about 60 years old with a tongue ring, tight ass pants, and moving like she was a slingy. Right? She moving around like she's 16 years old in the mall, like, right? Why? Because she's trying to throw her old little cakes all around the mall. But that's what you're going to be because you're not understanding. The Most High has put a man in your life with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. I'm going to say it again. This class is two brothers and sisters that are in the truth. It's a whole different class when they're not in the knowledge. When you got a dude that's a weed head making you go to work, pay all the bills, and act like he's righteous. Nah, we're not talking about the weed heads. Those niggas are going to get what's coming to them. The Most High is going to take that righteous woman from him. Unless he gets his act together. Go ahead.
Fear the Lord.
Uh-huh.
And depart from evil.
Go ahead. What?
Fear the Lord and depart from evil.
Go ahead.
It shall be health to thy neighbor.
And this is why a lot of times y'all don't get what you want. You don't get what you want in your household because you ain't putting your trust in the Most High. And therefore it's confusion. Let's go back. Wisdom of Solomon. Let's finish this.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17, verse 12.
Go ahead.
For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the secures which reason offers.
Right. So, when you let this fear come in, it betrays the trust of Yahweh. You're betraying the trust in the Most High. You're betraying, wives, be obedient unto their husbands as unto the Lord. You're betraying and you're saying, Yahweh, no, I got it. That's funny because when you were 16, you didn't have it. You gave up your virginity to Joe Dummy. Right? Right? At 17, you gave it up to his friend out of anger and envy. Okay? So you didn't have it then. You didn't lead yourself right then. Right? At 18, you thought you was going to be a lesbian. Right? That didn't work out because the lesbian was more crazy than the men. Right? 19, you said you're just going to give it all up. You're done with it all. Or no, wait. Or 19, you're gender fluid? Yeah. So 19, you turn gender fluid. You're going to deal with men and women. You got to think about your path. What you did and all the things, the logic of what you did, where it got you. It didn't get you nowhere. It's time to start putting your faith back in Yahweh. Trust in the Most High. Abide in the faith and you'll see that He'll be there for you. Right? Don't betray what you supposedly believe in. That's what this is saying. Go ahead.
Verse 13. And the expectation.
Right. Now, majority of the times, these situations, your expectation, what you guys are arguing about, the expecting of something becomes more hurtful than the actual thing that's going to happen. You got to think about what you guys are arguing about. And this is why it's simple, man. It's confusion. It's chaos, man. If you brothers and sisters, if you sisters can only see what's going on. Go ahead.
And the expectation from within being
being less.
Being less.
So the expectation within being less. Go ahead.
Counted the ignorance more than the cause which bringeth the torment.
Yeah, like your expectations did more problems, does more destruction. Your negative outlook. Your negative outlook brings more problems to your household. Your lack of faith brings more problems to your household. This is what the scriptures are saying. Go from there. Go to Psalms 118 and 8. Yeah, I hope you understand that. The torment comes through your fear, your lack of trust in the Most High. You guys got to start going over faith classes and applying that to your relationships. Right? How many faith classes have we went over that you brothers and sisters, I guess at this point specifically, you sisters need to see? We'll go over a man's class too. We'll touch on that. Go ahead, read where we're at.
Psalms chapter 1, verse 118, verse 8?
Yeah. Psalms 118 and 8. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Chapter 118, verse 8. It is better to trust in the Lord.
Stop. You're supposed to trust in the Most High. People read this scripture, you know what they say? That's why I don't listen to man. That's not what this is saying. What it's saying is follow what the Lord said. If the Lord said to wives, submit yourself to your husbands, that's trusting in the Lord. Trusting in man is doing the opposite of what the Lord said. It's not saying, oh, trusting in the Lord means that I ain't going to listen to what this man tell me to do. Your husband is supposed to be treated like Yahweh Shai. And this is what a lot of women don't get. Why is that respect not given to him? Because you don't trust in the Most High. Go ahead.
Than to put confidence in man.
Read.
It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in princes.
And that's the thing. You put confidence more in everything else in the world instead of saying, you know what, the Most High is going to cover my back. He's going to protect me. You know what? This guy is not the same guy like Tyrone. Tyrone was a killer. This is the Bible guy. There's no threat with this man. He's talking about reading the Bible. That's his biggest threats. God is going to get you. Right? What's the point? What's the point of battling that? Go to Proverbs 3:26. This is what you sisters need to put your hope back in, man. And a lot of this confusion will stop. You've been used and abused based off your own logic. It's time for you to start giving yourself over to the will of the Most High. Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 3 verse 26. For the Lord shall be thy confidence, and shall keep thy foot from being taken.
Right. The Most High was supposed to be your confidence. Put your trust back in the Most High. Have faith that the Most High puts you in these marriages to follow righteousness. And you see it. Just think about it. If your husband is calling and asking for counsel, you can't see that's a righteous act in itself. He's trying to do something right. It would be different if he was choking you out. Right? Punching you in the face. But he's trying to say, okay, now I'm trying to work on it. You know what we noticed too? You got a brother and sister that are coming to truth. And this man to be whooping her ass. They did drugs together. Right? They did all kind of wickedness together. Right? He be whooping her ass. When they come in the truth and he starts to get right, then it's like, yeah, I can't stomach this nigga. It's like, huh? Oh, what? He's trying to get it right. Why all of a sudden you can't stomach him? It's time for you to say, okay, wait a minute. This he's getting it together now. Now you're like, no, it's too late. Then what you getting the truth for? What do you got the knowledge for? See, this is the problem with a lot of brothers and sisters. This is a big problem, man. Read that again.
For the Lord shall be thy confidence, and shall keep thy foot from being taken.
Right. He was supposed to be thy confidence. He was supposed to be your trust. Go from there. Go to Hebrews 3 verse 6. I'm not going to be able to even go over half of the topic I had set up, so I'm jumping around. Go to Hebrews 3 verse 6.
Hebrews chapter 3 verse 6.
No, go to 1 John 5 verse 14.
1 John chapter 5 verse 14.
I needed a whole another hour on this one. Go ahead.
And this is the confidence that we have in him.
Go ahead.
That if we ask anything according to his will.
If that what?
We ask anything according to his will.
Go ahead.
He heareth us.
Why isn't that spirit in you women? Why are you going to the Most High and saying, Yahweh, I lack faith. I know my husband's a good man. Guide him. Bless him. Shine upon him. Be with him. But instead, you take it upon your own self and you become the haughty woman. You become the proud woman. Now, how is that you being an Israelite woman? Think about it. How is that you being an Israelite woman? You're doing more destruction, sisters. You're doing more hurt. Go ahead.
And if we know that he hears us.
And if you really believe and have faith and hope and confidence in Yahweh Shai and the Most High, that he hears you, go ahead.
Whatsoever we ask, we know that we have the petitions that we desire of him.
You see that? Because we put hope and trust and faith in him. And that's what it comes down to. Every time we talk about, obviously there's a lot of problems when it comes to these women being disgruntled, out of order, fighting their husbands, direction. When I was meditating, I was like, what is the one big problem? There's so much hurt, so much pain that you're bringing into your relationship. And now you're putting all that baggage and all those things on this one man instead of having faith in the Most High. You got to see that this is what is destructive. Go ahead.
Verse 16. If any man see his brother sin.
Right, that's it on that. Go from there. Go to Hebrews 10:35.
Hebrews chapter 10, verse 35.
Go ahead.
Cast not away, therefore, your confidence.
Right, and this is another scripture we always put. But a lot of sisters ain't applying it. Why are you in the truth? You a bandwagon sister? You only here for that man? You only here because your husband dragged you in the truth? You're not going to last. Because you yourself have to be put through trials, tribulation, and persecution, and stand fast in righteousness. You're not going to last if you hear, oh, he brought me in. If he left the truth, I'd be gone too. If you one of those sisters, you ain't here for Yahweh Shai. So this is, and you're not here for Yahweh Shai if you're not following the commandment, the law, the rules. This is what you're not seeing. Go ahead.
Which has great recompense of reward.
Right. If you don't cast away your confidence and faith and trusting that the Most High will not abandon you. You know what I mean? When he says, baby, we're not going to pay the cell phone this week, and you just lose it on him and say, well, we're going to use that money for this other bill, and you just spark into him like the world has ended. You know what I mean? Like now we got to go through a high council over the what?
Phone bill.
The phone bill. Like a deep one too. Like you hit him like that nigga just told you that he's going to take the kids and jump in front of a car. Right? No. You're fighting about foolishness, man. You're not willing to let go of power because of madness. Write the things down y'all argue about. It's stupid. It's ignorant because of your pride. Come on, read.
For he have need of patience.
Yeah, they need what?
Need of patience.
What do these women need?
Patience.
You need patience, man. A lot of you sisters need to learn patience and understand, okay, let him grow. Need patience. That's what you need. Go ahead.
That after ye have done the will of God.
Right. Because if you let your husband do his thing and rule the house well, and you have patience, then you'll be able to see what? The outcome. You'll be able to see the outcome of that the Most High didn't abandon ship. The house didn't damn implode because you put one bill off. And I'm using the most common arguments. Well, I wanted to put the bill off to next month, and she was telling me, well, I don't think we should put the bill off. That's stupid, because if we do that, then, what's going to happen to the bill? If we don't pay, it's like, damn, the white man, Esau done twisted y'all brain. And it's because you got no faith in Yahweh. Go ahead.
That after ye have done the will of God, ye might receive the promise.
You might. You know why? You know why the might? Because maybe the Most High just might throw you in another situation that is a test. Maybe he might throw you in another situation that is a test. But how you going to go through that when you don't believe? See, this is the problem with a lot of Israelite sisters. Where you at?
Verse 37.
Right. Go to Romans 14:23. Romans 14:23. So these are the problems, man, that persist and keep happening with these households because we got a lot of faithless women in them. And this is why you're never going to get what you desire. You want peace, you want joy, you want marriage, you want happiness, but you're stripping it out of the household. You're stripping the household of all that. Why? Because your anxiety. 14:23. Your anxiety is stripping it out. Your unsurety that if this happens, you don't know what's going to happen. Go ahead, Mawala, read it. Yo.
But
Watch, be careful because you're pulling the camera. Go ahead.
But now, having no more place in these parts.
Romans. What did I ask for?
Romans 14:22.
Oh, I was reading.
Romans 14 and 23. Read it.
And he that doubteth is damned if he eat.
Right. He that doubteth is damned if he eat. In what way? Read.
Because he eateth not in faith.
In faith. So why a lot of these things and situations you're not relieved in? Because you're damned because you are faithless. And you bring that damned mentality to your household. And the kids are damned. All because of what? The light bill, the cell phone, right? You didn't want the kid to go to karate. You wanted to keep him home for home. It's a joke. It's sad because Satan uses the most smallest things to corrupt you. But it's small, but it's not, because faith is the only thing that's going to keep you going in everything. Go ahead.
For whatsoever is not of faith is sin.
Right. Now, I just want to get this last one here. Go to Deuteronomy 28, verse 65. It says, whatsoever is not of faith is sin. This will be the last one because, like I said, taking those questions, man, kind of took up my time. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 65.
I want y'all to listen to this. When you don't do it of faith, it's sin. And this what happens. Read.
And among these nations shalt thou find no ease.
And you find no what?
No ease.
That's the curse. A lot of you sisters are still under the curse. You don't find no ease. Everything in the house. You know what I mean? I got to do it in my house sometimes too. If the clock is moved a certain diameter, it's like, what? Ah! It's like, could you go outside, shoot yourself in the face so we can move on with life? You know what I mean? Well, I put the clock in a certain place. It's like the whole world is over because the trash ain't been took out. The whole world is over because you cleaned up the kitchen and the kids left the dish in there. All right? You lose your god dang mind. It's like, what is wrong with you? Like, I tell my rib, like, okay, it's fine. Everything's going to be all right, little Matthew. All right, little Susie. We're going to go ahead and tell the kids to come back downstairs and go wash the dish. You don't got to kill yourself over this. But this is a curse. This is Deuteronomy 28:65. Go ahead.
Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest.
Right.
But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart.
He's going to give you a what?
Trembling heart.
He's going to give thee a trembling heart. You are under a curse. You got a lot of sisters still that trembling heart. You don't know where to trust and who to trust. You like in a dang. You like amongst the enemy. What? Deuteronomy 28:65. 6:5. This is a problem. That trembling heart, the lack of faith, the lack of trust in the Most High. Watch, read on, check this out. Go ahead.
And failing of eyes.
And what?
Failing of eyes.
Why? Because you got know what to look to. You're destroying your house because you got nothing to look to. That's your strength and hope. No fortification. Your husband's not perfect, so you already checked him off the damn box. God, Christ, man, woman. You check Christ off the box. Why? He's out of there. I don't trust in him because, you know what I mean, he let me down before. This is what these women think. Christ didn't let you down. You let yourself down, and you're doing it again. Go ahead.
And sorrow of mind.
And what?
Sorrow of mind.
You want to know why you got anxiety? You want to know why you can't trust nothing? You want to know why everything's a problem, everything's a situation. You're sweating over damn everything. You want to know why you can't. When you go to the doctor, they ask you, do you got a little anxiety? Does your weight fluctuate? Right? How you living? What's wrong? What's going on with you in your life? Here. let me give you some pills. You know why he's doing that? Because you're bringing this on yourself. The hurt, the pain, the mental disease, the anguish, because you don't trust in Yahweh. And you take that home, you take that psychotic ass mind to the house, and it's destructive. Trust in the Most High. Have faith. Go ahead.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee.
And thy life shall hang in what?
In doubt before thee.
And thy life shall hang in doubt. Now raise your hand. I see all of them. Your life. No, I see all online. I'm clowning the ones online. You know why? Raise your hand. All you women in your household that your life hangs in doubt. It don't hang in faith. We go through, our lives are set up to where we have to abide in faith. But there's you women that abide in doubt because you don't trust in the Most High. You got that job. You're getting that degree. You got that bag. You know what I mean? You the one that got that man. You the one that did this. I paid the bills. I did this. I did that. You know what I mean? Sad. You didn't do nothing. The Most High did all that. But that's why your life hangs in doubt. Go ahead.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee. And thou shalt fear day and night.
And that's why you got these sisters fearing day and night. Unsure. Uncertainty. You don't know what the hell is going to happen. Right? Everything is anxiety, unsurety. This is a curse, man. Go ahead.
And thou shalt have none assurance of thy life.
Go ahead.
In the morning thou shalt say.
It says, you hear that? And you're not going to have none insurance of thy life. So, this is not a good thing. You got to put your trust back in the Lord. One more scripture. One more. Isaiah 65. This will be the last one. 65 and 13. Go ahead, read that.
Isaiah.
Let's end it on a good note. Go ahead.
Chapter 65, verse 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God. Behold, my servants shall eat.
You want to stop all this? Be a servant of the Most High. Because the servants are going to sit back and understand that they're going to be taken care of. The Most High has pleasure in the prosperity of the saints. That He's not going to let them down. They're going to have. The angels are constantly there with them, protecting them. That's what the faithful, righteous believe. Go ahead.
But ye shall be hungry.
But that faithless individual, the wicked, their life hangs in doubt. They ain't gonna know where they're gonna get their next meal from, and they that's why they rob, steal, cheat, sell their booty, Instagram, put their body online, because I gotta do that. I seen that the other day. I was going through Flipboard. 18-year-old girl selling her virginity for $250,000. I ain't see it on YouTube. I was going through Flipboard. But yeah, that's why. Because you're not putting yourself to be a servant of the Most High. Go ahead.
Behold, my servants shall drink. But ye shall be thirsty.
Read.
Behold, my servants shall rejoice. But ye shall be ashamed. Read. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart.
And that's a lot of our people in the truth. So which one of you servants of the Most High? So that's it on that, man. Does anybody got anything online? I had an allergic reaction to that. Yep, I did. Take class of 10. Nah, we're not taking class of 10. You know why? Because we're going to be here. We're going to repeat ourselves 1,000,000 times, sister. This ain't the first women's class. This ain't the last women's class. We got almost 700 videos on the other channel. And guess what? Half of them are about. Now let me stop. No, but listen. We got a lot of women's classes. Trust me, we're gonna go over these topics. Keep asking questions. Ask the meaningful questions, and we'll go over them. I'll do just like I did tonight, and we'll go over them. So we'll be going over more classes. What else? That's it. Remember Shabbat Shalom. It is the Sabbath. Y'all keep it holy. Keep your mind on the Most High. Remove from you all bitterness and arguing and madness, and make sure y'all lock into the Most High. So everybody say shalom. Shalom. We'll see y'all. Actually, tomorrow morning, Shabbat class. Y'all be there. Be there, be square. All right? All right.
Keep the Bible on cop. The Most High is my rock.
TK. I had an allergic reaction.
Rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. My rock. The Most High is my rock. In the name of Messiah. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. My rock. The Most High is my rock. Yeah. The Most High is my rock. I keep my Bible on cop. The Most High is my rock. No time for cupcake and the cutlet. Hit the street.